Schön. Studio Secretary Murder. Also wieder eine. Ah ja, stimmt. Das Intro-Zeug hatten wir ja letztes Mal schon gesehen. Mit der Frau, die aus irgendeinem Grund da hier rumläuft. Möglicherweise ein bisschen angetrunken.
Of course we will look into it. Yes, I'm aware that it's an election year. Keep a hold of your hat, Counselor. Now is not the time to lose your nerve. It would appear that someone has hocked a rose gold wedding ring and matching engagement ring. Sound familiar?
Deirdre Muller.
Press the pawnbroker and see what you can find out. The address is 348 South Main Street. The Muller case goes before the grand jury next week, and the DA does not want any egg on his face. Then get out to the railroad depot on Santa Fe Avenue. We have another poor unfortunate found this morning beside a railroad line. 40-year-old white woman.
Right, Skipper.
Okay.
I don't know who'd be worse. Another body and Deirdre Muller's ring. The Emperor may soon have to come to terms with the fact that he's wearing no clothes.
What exactly did you get that book of riddles shoved up your ass, Phil? Is that what your old man paid college tuition for?
Yeah, I'm thinking of moving up to a 45. I want to put him down to 1 round.
Hey, you think those Vice boys get any on the side?
You're behind the wheel.
Fine. Where are we headed?
You've got to admit, this is looking odd.
Anyone could pawn a ring.
But if you take it along with all of the other indicators...
Cole, Hugo Moeller was identified by the school's groundkeeper. He's our guy.
Witnesses have fingered the wrong guy before.
He ran, for God's sakes.
And he always maintained he was set up.
Okay, also geht's noch ein bisschen um alten Fall. Wenn ich das richtig verstanden habe, dann der komische Fall mit der Frau, die an der Schule oder die zu dem Schultanzzeug-Veranstaltung gegangen ist. Und wo man bisher denken, dass das der komische Pedo-Typ war.
How can I help you boys?
Detectives Phelps and Galloway, LAPD. You have a rose gold wedding and engagement ring?
David Bremner. Am I gonna get something for this pledge? Gave that bum money, now you guys are gonna leave me short.
How much did you give him?
50 bucks?
Try another number.
20?
Try 10. Feel lucky you're getting it.
I have the rings right here.
Ich meine, wieso hat er 2? Ne?
What's this mark here?
Maker's mark. Usually traceable. That one came from Hartfield's Jewelry down on Broadway.
Thanks for the tip. Does this mark mean anything?
22 Karat? Das ist ziemlich gut. Ich glaube, das höchste ist 24 Karat. Und das Karatzeug gibt an, wie rein Karat ist bei Diamant. Was war das dann bei Gold? Na, gibt's auch bei Gold. Karat. Genau. Also und 24 Karat ist Maximum und warum auch immer. Und gibt an, wie rein das Gold ist. Also im Endeffekt, wenn du zum Beispiel einen Ring mit 24 Karat Gold hast, dann ist der Ring zu 100% aus Gold. Also rein Gold, ohne irgendein anderes Metall mit reingemischt. 12 Karat ist dann die Hälfte, das heißt, der Ring besteht zur Hälfte aus Gold und die andere Hälfte ist halt dann irgendwas anderes. Genau. Also 24 ist Maximum und 22 Karat ist schon was.
What have you got on the guy who brought these in?
Goes by the name of Percy B. Shelley. Gave an address. 15 Poland Street, London, Tulare County.
Can you give us a description of the man who pawned these rings?
Not sure. Medium height, medium build. Dark hair, I think. Sorry. He just had one of those forgettable faces.
Be in touch, Mr. Bremner.
Okay.
You drive. I need to go over the case notes.
And where exactly are we going?
We have a problem.
We could have the local troopers check out the Tulare County address.
The address is bogus.
But
Perp is having fun with us. The guy who's been sending the Dahlia letters is also the guy who pawned these rings.
How do you figure that one?
Percy Bysshe Shelley wrote the poem that came with the Dahlia letter. If the Dahlia letters are genuine, then the man who killed Elizabeth Short may have also killed Deirdre Muller.
And how do we prove that, Phelps? Skipper ain't gonna like this one bit.
We're gonna have to rely on this guy tripping up on his own vanity.
wer ich. Warum denkt er das?
You boys ready? Follow me.
We should keep this development with the rings under our hat until we speak with the captain.
We're all on the same team, Rusty.
Chain of command, Phelps. The skipper will decide who needs to know. You got it?
I get it, Rusty. I just don't like it.
Aber wenigstens
Hart,
angezogen.
Yeah. I look after all the rail depots.
what have you got?
The Negro, Nelson Gaines, called it in. I came down here to make sure him and the other guy, Jameson, stuck around.
Jameson found the body?
Something like that. Guy makes me sick.
We'll talk to the
This?
coroner. Keep an eye on both of them. Detective Phelps and Galloway, homicide. Can you tell me exactly what happened?
We were shunting cars over to the main line when I saw this man here lying on top of this woman. The woman wasn't moving and seemed to be in a bad way.
What time was this?
About 7:30 this morning, sir.
Thanks for your help. Have you given Patrolman Hart your details?
I have, sir.
Thank you. You can go now.
Mann, was? Mann? Oh. Was? Wenn ich das richtig verstanden habe.
What have we got here?
White female, approximately 40 years of age, lipstick smudges on the face, but no writing, at least nothing legible. A blunt force trauma to the temple, nose, and eye regions. Ligature marks point to the probable cause of death being strangulation.
Any idea of the time of death?
From her temperature, after midnight would be my guess.
Hey.
The smell?
Very good. There is the usual evacuation smell, but it appears she's been living rough for quite some time.
Very strong smell of alcohol.
Well, the autopsy will tell, but I would assume that she was inebriated.
Another missing ring.
Certainly seems I've been swabbing a lot of bare fingers recently.
Can you be more exact about the time of death?
No later than 2 a.m. The state the body was in, a 1 or 2 hour window is the best I can do.
Blood splatter on the carriage. She must have been struck while standing up.
Leave that car in front of that hydrant and I'll give you a ticket. I got this gadget whiz guy putting recording devices at the placement.
Dear Evelyn, I hope that this letter finds you in a better way than when we last parted. Bitter words were exchanged, yet taken too much liquor, and we both know what that makes you become. But I am not writing to harass and accuse. I am writing to apologize. I was heartbroken seeing what had become of my little girl and what she is doing to herself. You're destroying your body and your soul with liquor, Evelyn, and it is harder for me to watch than you can imagine.
Someone was trying to get her to come home.
But only God, Almighty above us, has the right to judge, and so I beg your forgiveness. I've been in contact with a sanitarium here in Connecticut on your behalf. They say your condition is an illness, Evelyn, and that it can be treated. You only need to check yourself in. It will not...
We could go over to the lot and see what they know about her.
That's gonna be difficult, Cole. Keystone Studio lot closed back in 41.
Schon wieder eine Bar.
Maybe someone at Mensch's will remember her.
Mensch's Bar. Liquor store.
This is a chit for personal items, not booze. It's an angle worth investigating.
Suitcase, bedroll, pillow. Bowling pin? What? What? Ein bowling pin?
Detective Phelps, LAPD homicide.
John Ferdinand Jameson.
We need you to answer some questions, John.
If you don't mind, I prefer Ferdinand.
Don't push your luck, knucklehead.
What were you doing to the body, Ferdinand?
Are you sure you won't be upset?
Try me, Ferdinand.
I was kissing her.
Ach,
It's not against the law.
Shut up.
There's no
Take
law
your
against
beating
it.
like a man.
Turn out your pockets, Ferdinand. Classic Carmine. Is this yours, Ferdinand?
No. I found it near her purse. I thought she could use some lipstick.
Rusty, stop. Don't hit him.
Okay.
You went through her purse?
It wasn't like she needed it. Took a look.
Did you take any money?
Wasn't any to take. I found her lipstick and her matchbook over on the mat. Not much else.
You found the body?
Yes, I did. I work here. I was coming off shift and headed home.
Why didn't you report the body, Jameson? Do you know how this is going to look to a jury?
A jury? What gives? I could tell that she was dead. I came through here about midnight last night. She wasn't here then.
Let me belt him again.
You're under arrest, Jameson. We'll see how this plays out. Until then, you can think a little on how you'd like to be treated if you were found dead.
I'm telling you, it's not illegal. Me and some friends of mine...
What?
Fine. You get this sack of shit into a cell, I'll deal with him later.
Sure, Rusty.
Leave that car in front of that hydrant and I'll give you a ticket.
Phelps, badge 1247.
How could I help, Detective?
I need an address on Levine's Liquor, closest store to the Santa Fe Avenue rail yard, if possible.
Just a moment, Detective. Closest store would be the one at 939 South Hope Street.
Thanks, ma'am.
You can drive.
Fine. Where are we headed? You've got to be kidding. We're driving this?
Yeah.
Great. How are we going to look getting around in this thing, Cole? It reads that those goddamn Chinese want to sell the relief food that we're sending them?
Yeah. Yeah, I read about that.
Those people are starving. They can't do that.
Want to sell the food to fund the civil war against the communists.
Really? I guess that's okay then.
Armies can't fight without food. You spend all your money on weapons, but you still have to have the will to fight. Fortunately, the Reds will win in China.
Watch your mouth. You know what you're saying?
The people of this country overthrew a king. You think the Chinese will balk at an emperor if they are starving?
Weil es nicht illegal ist. Ich meine, in einer Art und Weise ist es vielleicht schon illegal, in dem Fall wegen, weil es ja ein Tatort ist und
I'm Walter Mensch. Evelyn Summers? What is it now?
You knew Evelyn?
könnte ja irgendwie halt,
She's a pain in the ass, always coming in here, cadging drinks, never had any money. She was in just a couple of nights ago.
Did she ever tell you where she was staying?
I don't know. I think she was living rough. She had that kind of stunk about her.
Who did she drink?
A bunch of these guys. Ask around.
ah ja, könnte ja halt irgendwie so Dings, so Manipulation von Beweismitteln und so weiter sein.
What's your name?
Grosvenor McCaffrey.
Mind if I ask you some questions, Mr. McCaffrey?
I'm just a starving writer, Detective. What do you want to ask about?
Evelyn Summers?
Sherlock Holmes.
And why she was found beaten and strangled in the rail depot on Santa Fe.
Okay. I see your point.
How well did you know her?
I can't say that I knew her. It was more like I was aware of her.
Did you see Evelyn last night?
No, I was at home, writing.
Can anyone corroborate that?
Good choice of word. Am I a suspect?
Do you have a criminal record, Mr. McCaffrey?
Nothing serious. I've had a few skirmishes.
Do you want to save me some time, or do you want me to look up your file?
Industrial disputes, strikes, workers' rights, that kind of thing.
A regular fifth columnist. Nice to meet you, comrade.
Thank you for the information, Mr. McCaffrey.
The regulars might have something else to tell you, but I don't.
You a friend of Evelyn Summers?
Who's asking?
Very cute. You know who's asking.
I know my rights.
You don't have any. Answer the question.
Evelyn mooches for drinks. I don't have any time for that.
Was that so hard?
Keep writing me, copper.
Okay. Mehr sind wir hier nicht, oder?
Can you drive to this one?
And where exactly are we going?
Das solches Ding ist noch.
I'm at a loss.
I say we try the liquor store next. I could get a short dog for the car.
Ja, okay. Kommen wir später nochmal her.
You know the way. You can drive.
Fine. Where are we headed?
What did you make of McCaffrey?
There'll come a day, and it's coming very soon. We'll run him and the rest of his pinko buddies out of Los Angeles.
I meant as a suspect, Rusty.
What can I do for you?
LAPD, Phelps and Galloway. We're making inquiries into the murder of Evelyn Summers.
Evelyn? She's dead?
You knew Evelyn Summers, Mr.
Robbins. Yes, I knew Evelyn. I was a good friend of her ex-husband. She kept some of her stuff here.
Can you show us, please?
Sure. Come this way.
You got some fine stock here, Mr. Robbins. You know, you let us take some for the road, this case might get solved a lot quicker.
He's joking, Mr. Robbins. wasn't always such a loner. Evelyn was reading Aristotle?
Evelyn wasn't stupid. The only stupid thing about her was her need to drink.
And she was borrowing books from Grosvenor McCaffrey.
Den Bilder McCaffrey.
I'm guessing Evelyn hadn't held down a job for quite some time before she was killed.
Da ist der Bowling-Pin. Warum auch immer.
Rawlings Bowling Alley.
Warum auch immer die den hat.
Maybe Evelyn did something other than drink in her spare time.
Rawlings. I know that place. Corner of 9th and Grand. A lot of cops bowl there on Tuesday nights.
When exactly did Evelyn work in the pictures?
A few years ago. She worked in legal copyrights for music.
We're trying to account for Evelyn's movements yesterday.
She came by in the morning.
A social visit? To pick up some of her things?
She had a couple of bucks and bought a quart of rye.
Any idea where the money came from?
She didn't mention it. But she did say the booze was a present for a boy. She said they had been fighting and she had to make it up to him.
Were you and Evelyn close, Mr. Robbins?
Not many people will be sad she's gone. I'll be one of the few.
We got the impression that Evelyn had been sleeping rough of late.
It became difficult for me to have her staying here. Her mother was trying to get her back on the straight and narrow. She's old now. And to be honest, you have to have a good reason to want to get back on.
Do you know a friend of Evelyn's by the name of McCaffrey?
Not personally.
We're struggling for leads, Robbins. Did she know McCaffrey?
She idolized him. From what I gather, the feeling was far from mutual. He seems to peddle a revolutionary stance, fixing the ills of society. You could see how it would appeal to down-and-outs like Evelyn.
Thanks for your help, Mr. Robbins.
No problem. Hey, I'd like to make arrangements for the funeral. You think I could get in touch with Evelyn's mother?
Put in a call to the watch commander at Central Station, Mr. Robbins. He'll be trying to reach the next of kin.
Thanks. Get the guy, huh? Evelyn never hurt anybody.
Yes, please do. Grab a scalpel. I'm glad you dropped in. Maybe you can help me correct my schleich.
Doctors, do you know what this patient is suffering from? Well, if you ask me, I think it's wrong diagnosis and floating dialects.
How do you operate, Doctor? Strictly cash in advance.
Dr. Van Untersmong, wanted. Dr. Van Untersmong, wanted. St. Louis, Chicago, New York, reward.
I'm a very popular fellow.
Doctor, why do you have to operate at all on this boy?
You're behind the wheel.
And where exactly are we going?
Huh?
Car 11K, Car 11 King, KGPL.
11 King.
A message from Captain Donnelly. Return to Central. Code 2.
11 King, en route. Let's not keep the man waiting, Phelps.
Was ist denn jetzt schon wieder hier?
The captain is downstairs with Ray Pinker and your mother.
Neuer Brief.
You think the vice boys get any on the side?
What's this about, Captain?
Ray and Mal have some concerns over the Henry and Muller cases, which I don't want aired outside of this room.
Evidence is solid, Captain.
I agree, Rusty. It's just that corpses keep piling up.
Copycats.
I've been banging the same drum. But the notes and the lipstick messages.
Evelyn Summers, Cartel Classic Carmine. Each woman, same brand, same color.
Teresa Terrelson didn't have a lipstick message.
Technically, you're right, Rusty. She didn't have any lipstick. But she did have a message. We found it beneath her dress, scraped with a sharp stick.
What did it say?
You sure you want to know?
Ray?
As far as we can be sure, it said "Cunt BD."
That's one way of looking at it.
Looking at what?
Cunt is all about access, Phelps. You're married, so yours is mortgaged. Some of us like to pay by installments. This guy doesn't like to pay at all.
Why are you so angry, Mal?
Because I just had to fire one of my assistants. He was a friend of Jameson's. God knows what he might have been up to.
Captain, we have good leads in the Summers case, but it's up to you to decide how we proceed.
Keep this under your hat for now. And follow up on Evelyn Summers. I want daily reports.
I say we bust in there and find the goddamn evidence.
We got our orders. Back to the Summers case. Get an address from McCaffrey. He'll have blown the bar. I'll meet you outside.
Is anybody making coffee soon?
I say we bust in there and find the goddamn evidence.
Operator, give me dispatch.
Putting you through now.
Cole Phelps, badge 1247.
How could I help, Detective?
I need an address for a Grosvenor McCaffrey.
Grosvenor McCaffrey. Apartment 6, 126 Yale Street, between Ord and Alpine.
Thank you. You can drive.
I got the jitters.
Fine. Where are we headed?
Let me pose a question.
Depends. What you got to do with?
Morals. Would it bother you to put the wrong person away?
Depends.
On what?
On whether anyone except the poor son of a bitch in the slammer ever found out.
Hello, Rusty. Two on your usual lane?
I'm Detective Phelps. Homicide.
You must be new. What's your shoe size?
We're conducting an investigation, ma'am. Do you know the name Evelyn Summers?
Sounds like I should. Oh, maybe it could be Jimmy's friend.
Jimmy?
James Tiernan. He's a pin setter. One day he introduced me to a lady after work. It stuck in my mind because she was much older, too old for him.
Where can we find Jimmy, Florence?
He'll be hopping around the lanes toward the back.
Thanks, ma'am. Let's go get him.
Da ist er.
What's a five-star goddamn wedding?
Tiernan, LAPD. There.
What are you waiting for? Get after him!
We might go faster if we weren't carrying the extra weight. These are flashy cars to be parked outside a bowling alley.
The lanes attract a fast-living individual with money to burn, Cole.
Or a middle-aged individual with the need to feel virile.
I'll try to shoot out his tires. Wish me luck.
Another runner. Well, at least we've got a suspect.
Why do they always run? I'm sure we've got the wrong person in more than one of these homicides, but they always seem to land it.
You know, your theories are not airtight by any means, Phelps.
If this isn't the killer, we can at least get him for reckless endangerment.
That's unless he runs into a wall and saves us all the trouble.
Phelps, you gotta get me closer.
Wait.
He's going through the square.
I hope the people see him in time to get out of the way. What if they run because someone's setting them up? Because they feel like the deck is stacked against them?
Don't make up ridiculous stories
Nice.
for them, detective. Leave that to the perp's imagination.
Give it up, LAPD! You drive. I need to go over the case notes.
And where exactly are we going?
McCaffrey is in apartment 6. He said he was at home. He said he didn't know her. And we have the book.
Let's see Carruthers argue his way out of this one.
Is that you, Grosvenor? Who are you guys? What are you doing in here?
We're from the LAPD, ma'am. Do you know where we might find McCaffrey?
I'm his neighbor. Is he in trouble?
Look, lady, we need to find him, and in a hurry. Are you gonna give me trouble?
He has a pigeon coop up on the roof. He spends his mornings up there when he's been drinking.
How do we get up there?
Down the hall and up the stairs.
Drunk and in command of a carrier pigeon. Surely we can write him up for that. A citation at least.
Wetten, der rennt auch wieder weg.
Son, you're a couple of shingles short of a full roof.
Was?
runner, McCaffrey. Running on a hangover, McCaffrey? Sit down and we'll talk.
I'll go get our wheels.
You a runner, McCaffrey? Stay and fight the good fight. Give it up, LAPD. McCaffrey, you're under arrest on suspicion of murdering Evelyn Summers.
We need to get downtown and wrap this thing up. It's got to be the captain. Unless Tiernan set him up. You don't think that asshole Jameson could have done it, do you? Whoever did it. At least it wasn't that Dahlia fuck.
How do you know that McCaffrey didn't do the Dahlia?
We have a list of over 200 suspects. His name was never on it.
If you think the list is exhaustive, Rusty, who am I to argue?
Listen, let's just work the case at hand, shall we? Then we can sit down and put all the puzzle pieces together at a later date.
I'll hold you to that.
You sure you can make it stick with one of these suspects, gentlemen?
It's either McCaffrey or Tiernan, sir. I think Jameson is an aberration.
All right. I'll deal with that degraded lunatic myself. He's got some fearful retribution coming. Tiernan isn't one, McCaffrey isn't two. I want a confession from one of them. Don't fail me, young fellas.
They weren't even his prince and he still confessed.
Why did you run, Tiernan?
I was the last one to see Evelyn that night. I knew you would think it was me.
Can you describe your relationship with Evelyn?
I barely knew Evelyn.
No.
Keep lying to me and I'll have you charged and in front of a grand jury before your feet touch the ground.
How can you possibly prove Evelyn and I were more than friends? How come this is so hard to believe? A man and a woman getting along, liking each other just as friends.
Moment mal. Ah, das ist der falsche. Das ist der... Ich war irgendwie gerade drauf, dass das der andere Typ ist. Upsa.
Aristotle's Metaphysics, the book that
Moment.
belonged to McCaffrey.
McCaffrey saw her looking at her.
Yeah.
Laughed in her face.
And you're saying Evelyn stole it.
She wanted something of his.
Is anybody making coffee soon?
You don't like McCaffrey, do you, Tiernan?
He's full of the common man routine, but he props up a bar like the rest of us. Evelyn thought he was going to be a great novelist. And he had nothing but vitriol for her.
You and Evelyn were drinking together last night, and she had no other place to stay.
I don't know what happened last night. I don't remember.
Where's the phone? home last Saturday? What the hell is the LAPD up to these days? No entiendo.
You're lying, Tiernan. You'd been fighting with her. You fought, and...
I'm not lying! She got up and left! That was it!
I'm no hood. I'm a tuner. Is that a crime?
Don't talk about how it was between me and Evelyn. You don't know anything.
Do you own a car, Tiernan?
No, I don't.
Have access to a lug wrench?
We use a lot of them to clear jams in the pin setting machines.
Is interview 2 free?
I want the truth. I think you broke into McCaffrey's apartment and planted a lug wrench there.
I didn't do that, and there's no way you can prove any different.
I'm no Yed. I stacked the crack. Is that so wrong?
As hard as this is for you to contemplate, I really loved Evelyn. She was kind and gentle to me.
Evelyn was missing a ring from her right hand.
That's strange. She always wore it. Big black circular disc with a white E in the middle. It was made from an old typewriter key, a present from the prop department at her old movie studio.
We're going to talk to McCaffrey. You need to think about what you've told us, Tiernan. You're not in the clear.
No.
I'm praying that those prints come through so I can nail that son of a bitch.
I want to make homicide. I mean, you know
You ready
you
to
made it
answer
if you
some
got
questions?
You think I have all the answers?
People who run from the police usually have something to hide.
Touché, detective. Let's see where this takes us.
You told us you barely knew Evelyn Summers.
She hung around sometimes. I had very little to do with her.
You'll have to do better than that, Grosvenor. We know about you and Evelyn.
Evelyn was a lush and a boring one at that. You can't link her to me.
We know that you thought enough of her to loan out your copy of the Metaphysics.
I what? I did no such thing. That bitch stole that book from my apartment. The impudent fucking moron.
And that made you angry?
Angry? I was livid. Looking up at me with that stupid face of hers, begging me to forgive her. Aha. Very good. That's one to you, detective.
Evelyn died sometime around midnight. Remind me, where were you?
I was at home, writing. I'm working on a manuscript.
You're lying, McCaffrey. You were out at the rail yard.
And what do you have that proves I was there?
You're off the hook, for now. And you have someone who can corroborate your story.
Was?
Unfortunately, no.
Mir fehlt Beweismittel.
Make it stick, detective. The party has good lawyers.
Mouthpiece tore strips off me at the grand jury. Case got thrown out. Now the DA wants my head.
Operator, give me R&I.
Putting you through now.
This is going to take at least a week to get out of here.
Phelps, badge 1247.
How can I help, Detective?
I need the jacket on a Grosvenor McCaffrey.
Just a moment, Detective. McCaffrey was formerly under surveillance by the Red Squad. Conviction
convictions for petty theft, dishonorable discharge from the army during training at Syracuse, assault on a local woman. Says he almost beat the woman to death.
Thanks.
Wieso konnte ich den eigentlich nicht befragen wegen der Waffe und dem Blut in seiner Wohnung?
You were in the war?
Yes, I was. Seeing the things that I saw. It changes a man. I came back here determined to change things. All I wanted was a pen and an opportunity to speak out.
You told us before that you had only minor run-ins with the police. You didn't mention petty theft.
I've never been in trouble for violence. That's the salient point here, isn't it?
Mm.
You're lying, McCaffrey. You have a history of violence towards women.
How do you turn a couple parking tickets and a petty theft misdemeanor into an assault charge?
We know all about you and your dishonorable discharge, beating some poor woman near to death in Syracuse. You've never been in combat, McCaffrey. Your whole life is a fraud.
She was a goddamn peasant whore. She tried to steal from my wallet. I could have fought for this country. I could have.
You beat her because she stole from you, because she tried to outsmart you.
The ignorant audacity of the bitch. What is a man supposed to do? Sit there and take it? How is a man supposed to call himself a man?
And Evelyn Summers, a poor, drunken nobody, stole your book.
And she got what was coming to her.
Okay.
Governor McCaffrey, I'm charging you with the murder of Evelyn Summers. She was a sad lady who never hurt anyone except herself. I hope God finds a way to forgive you.
Weil so ein scheiß Buch geklaut hat.
Congratulations, boys. You bagged a
Letztendlich.
fine catch. Another red to boot. Grand. Now, I want you to put this business about a repeat offender out of your mind. This McCaffrey creature shows no remorse, and neither will the grand jury. You would have to walk a long mile to find a better candidate for an unmarked plot at the prison graveyard.
Vier Hinweise haben mir gefehlt. Ja, lief nicht ganz besonders gut, der Fall.
We have lost most of Shaughnessy and Dunn's squad. The gunny is dead, first platoon is in worse shape. That medic is either crazy or the bravest man alive.
Can we rally with the first and try for the Namboos?
It's sheer to the left. To the right, it goes right through a pass with 2 Namboos and Enfilade.
Mate,
We can lose everyone.
Lieutenant! Get back off this fucking bridge! They'll start walking the mortars back to their own positions! We only have minutes!
I'm in charge here, Sergeant!
Get your men off the bridge, Lieutenant!
What's your unit, Sergeant?
We don't have time for this, Lieutenant!
What's your unit, Sergeant?
I company 22nd Marines, Lieutenant, and we just saved your ass by fording the river.
My orders are to reconnoiter the...
I think that point is now moot! You have 10 men left! My orders are to save what's left! Move out!
The Quarter Moon Murders. Murders? Mehrere? What?
Well done, lads. You did well with the Summers case.
Eh.
We have a problem. The examiner received a new letter today.
Do you mind if I take a look, Ray?
Go right ahead. They've both been rinsed in gasoline like the previous letters, so I can't lift a print.
I'm telling you, it'll never stick.
Und
No one else but the killer knew about this message.
find me where I hid myself. Und. Looking in wonder up to
Another
heaven.
snippet from the Shelley poem.
Looking in wonder up to heaven, while yet the music pealed along. I hid myself within a fountain in the public square, where I lay like the reflex of the moon, seen in a wave under green leaves. Missed it. Percy Shelley.
To suffer woes, which hope thinks infinite. To forgive wrongs darker than death or night.
To defy power which seems omnipotent. To love and bear. To hope till hope creates from its own wreck the thing it contemplates. Neither to change, nor falter, nor repent. This, like thy glory, Titan, is to be good, great, and joyous, beautiful and free. This is alone life, joy, empire, and victory. Was?
If the note is from the Dahlia maniac, he definitely also killed Teresa Terrell.
Mal and I agree.
But where does that leave us? If this is the Dahlia killer, and he is responsible for the Tarrelson murder, not to mention the Muller
Hang
case.
on a moment, Skipper.
Let me
Skip.
finish, Rusty. We have 5 birds in hand and none in the bush. The department will not survive a scandal if we have to let them all go without catching a fiend first. Your careers will be over for a start, gentlemen.
Looking in wonder.
Ah, fuck it.
While yet
I
the
knew this
music
run was too
pealed
good to be
along,
true.
I hid myself within a fountain in the public square.
You like that stuff? What is it supposed to mean?
It's supposed to... Forget what it's supposed to... What does he want it
Where are
to...
you going with this, Cole?
He's obviously taunting us. He believes he's far more intelligent than we are.
Okay, it's some kind of story, right?
Müssten,
A guy that
sollten
God hates chains
zum
him up.
Public
It's an
Square
allegory,
gehen.
Rusty.
A what? Story with 2 meanings. A symbolic meaning.
Was?
That's what he wants us to think.
Could he be using it literally? Within a fountain in a public square?
Sag ich doch, ja.
Can somebody tell me what the fuck is going on?
The fountain in Pershing Square. Come on. We have a quick catch.
Yeah.
Thanks, Ray.
Be careful, Phelps. This is his game you're playing now.
Sag ich doch.
Caught me at the grand jury. Case was thrown out. Now the DA wants my head.
I'm just praying the prince comes through so I can nail this son of a bitch.
I want to make homicide. I mean, you know you've made it if you got that desk.
Ich fahr.
I've been in this job 20 years.
Auf geht's. Wiu, wiu. Nice. Okay. Da versteckt er sich drin.
Rather you than me, Phelps.
Elizabeth Short. Betty Short.
Oh.
Black Dahlia.
Oh.
You know the local hobos use that as a latrine.
Not. There is a cave.
There's a cave, all overgrown with trailing odorous plants which curtain out the day. Where next?
Which curtain out the day, with leaves and flowers, and paved with veined emeralds, and a fountain leaps in the midst with an awakening sound. From its curved roof the mountains frozen tears, like snow or silver, or long diamond spires, Hang downward, raining forth a doubtful light. Doppelpunkt.
Elizabeth Short's social security card.
Jesus Christ.
That's not all. There's another stanza from Shelley.
Can you work it out?
Irgendwo ist eine Höhle.
You got a city map? See if you can work out where he's taking us. I don't like this freak leading us around by the nose.
Habe ich eine Map? Ja. Street crime. Locations. Was haben wir denn? Die haben... Was? RB und LB. Geben mir keine Locations. Okay, also irgendwas mit Höhle. Tarpits, ich meine. Tar stinkt, das könnte vielleicht sein. Rose Garden. Hidden Vehicle. Vehicle. Price. Tree collapse on the roof. Okay, ich würde... Weiß nicht, Tarpit.
Whoa! Easy!
4 years, the brave men of our United States Armed Forces fought gallantly on distant foreign shores to secure our freedom and our future. Now we have our boys home again,
all right.
and Elysian-Phil's developments would like to help you to secure their future. I'm Waylon Monroe, and I'm here today to offer you every peacetime soldier's wildest dream. With our new house and
Obwohl.
packages, your shining knight can rule
In dem Text. Die Rosen. Die Rosen machen eigentlich ein bisschen mehr Sinn, weil in dem Text stand hier irgendwas von dass die Pflanzen selbst riechen. Aber ich weiß nicht, ob bei dem Museum irgendwie eine Höhle ist oder so. Na, mal schauen.
Careful.
Bleib halt nicht stehen, Alter.
These people!
Uh-oh.
Let me guess. Hiding from the wife?
You look at this clown. Out of the car. Police.
Yeah. Oh, fuck. Wiu. So, ist hier eine Höhle oder so? Bam, bam, bam. Okay.
You think that's funny? Driving off and leaving me behind?
Ja.
Boy, howdy, he sure can play these drums. Gene Krupa, right here on KTI.
Him. It's really him, the fuck who killed the Dahlia. Can you believe this? He's leading us.
It's his game, Rusty.
I get the point.
It's his game, Rusty. He may want someone to catch him, but he's extremely dangerous. I doubt if he will give up easily.
Suits me down to the fucking ground. We clip this fuck and we get citation. What a day to be a cop. That pencil-pushing Parker won't be able to shove me aside.
That's the guy from the papers. Solved that big case.
Hey, there's such a thing as soap, you know?
From its curved roof, the mountain's frozen tears hang down, raining forth doubtful light.
Doubtful is right.
A chandelier. The glass dome at the halls of justice. It's worth a shot, Rusty.
Mit was?
Professor, one shot's all we got.
Was? All of Justice? Was? Was? Okay. Ah, okay. Wie komme ich hier wieder raus? Ah!
I think his name.
You're behind the wheel.
Yeah. Ist durch. Okay. Gute Nacht, Brocken.
Can I help you, sir?
Detectives, LAPD. This is very important, sir. How do we get to the top of the chandelier?
You what?
Have a little faith, pal. We're in a real hurry.
Head up to the top floor. There's an access panel and a ladder in the maintenance room.
I was married by a judge. And asked for a will. Hey, fuck you. The only reason some people get lost in thought is because of something they don't know. I swear, this town is going straight to hell.
Schön, dass der ganz genau weiß, wo es lang geht.
Let's go.
I'm going out there, Rusty.
Better you than...
Nein, mein Hund. Gut.
Deirdre Muller's missing watch. From the temples high of man's ear and eye, roofed over sculptures and poesy. Where have I seen that?
From the murmurings of the unsealed spring. Hey! Oh!
Jesus Christ, Cole, get off that goddamn thing.
Find a rope, Rusty!
There isn't time. See if you can swing that thing from side to side. Get it over the edge, then jump for it.
Swing! Come on!
It's gonna go any second. Swing that goddamn thing and jump for it.
That was too close.
Yeah, well, the higher you climb, the further you fall.
Let's get out of here.
Another Dahlia clue?
No. A yellow gold wristwatch.
The Mulder dame.
Yes. And a scrap of the poem.
Another location.
If I can work it out.
From the temple's high of man's ear and eye, roofed over sculpture and poesy, from the murmurings of the unsealed springs, where science dews his daedal wings. Temples high of man's ear and eye. Rings of the unsealed springs where science produces daedal. Roofed over sculpture and poesy. Hört sich nach Museum an. Bücherei. Es könnte sein. Investigate Public Library. Ah, ja. Wer bezahlt den Schaden? Na, die Steuerzahler.
He keeps mementos from all his victims.
This guy needs to be taken out of circulation.
He takes pleasure at stringing us along, demonstrating how much smarter he is.
Hello, Simon.
You can enjoy it while it lasts. We got you now, genius. We're coming for you.
Ah, da ist ein Ohr. Hm.
I'm pulling rank here, Cole. I'm not hauling myself up there. Go get him, Tiger.
Yeah, go get him.
Slow me down anyway, old timer.
Wait. No. Etwas Goethe.
Sometimes a step backwards is a step in the right direction.
Shakespeare, Goethe. What?
Our Lady of Guadalupe, ripped from Antonia's necklace. Round which death laughed, sepulchred emblems of dead destruction, ruin within ruin. So this is a treasure hunt.
The wrecks beside of many a city vast, whose population in which the earth grew over was mortal but not human. See, they lie. Their monstrous works and uncouth skeletons, their statues, homes, and fanes. Prodigious shapes huddled in grey annihilation, split, jammed in the heart, black, deep. Population which the earth grew over. Mortal but not human. Ist das jetzt das Teer-Ding?
What is it this time?
The religious medal from the Maldonado case.
The Dahlia, Moeller, Maldonado. When this gets out...
We still have to find the guy, Rusty.
Another poem. Well, you must have some idea, right? Come on, Phelps. We're on a roll here. Don't let me down.
Ja, gut.
You know the way. You can drive.
We're gonna catch hell for this. Banging up innocent men.
The newspapers will crucify the guy. They won't have time to wonder about our mistakes. We'll be okay, Rusty. As long as we catch the guy.
I hope you're right, Cole. We'll be famous if we make this case.
And then when the dishes have been cleared away...
Okay. Ich sehe, was zu tun ist.
These are my best shoes, Phelps. I'll leave you to it.
Natürlich. Ja.
Very funny.
Whoa! Get a move on, Cole. Those boards are sinking. You want to end up like the other fossils?
But ein bisschen gefährlich.
Gangway snakes around, Phelps. Can you see it through the tar?
Whoa!
How you doing out there?
I'd be doing better if you were the one trying to get across this thing. Easy.
You don't want to fall in now, Phelps.
That's at the forefront of my thinking. Whoa! One of Teresa Terrelson's shoes.
Hmm.
A sphere which is as many thousand spheres. Okay, where to now?
From the other opening in the wood, rushes with loud and whirlwind harmony, a sphere which is as many thousand spheres. Solid as crystal, yet through all its mass flow as through empty space, music and light.
What is it?
An open-toed white shoe, and another stanza from a poem.
Oh, I really thought that hobo bum did the Terrelson broad.
Confessions from the insane aren't the most credible evidence, Rusty.
Is this thing over?
It's all part of his power over us, making us run round all over the city for the crumbs he's leaving us.
So if we keep this up, we can find the guy?
In the wood rushes with loud and whirlwind harmony. A sphere which is as many thousand spheres. Solid as crystal, yet through all its mass flow as through empty space, music and light. Sphere within a sphere, celestial model.
You drive. I need to go over the case notes.
So this guy looks out for women in bars who've had too much to drink.
Who are emotionally disturbed.
Need a shoulder to cry on, he plies them with booze.
Probably offers them a lift home.
Then beats their brains out and strangles them. Could be any schmo hanging out in the bar.
No, not anyone. He displays the bodies, leaves us messages. For all the violence, it's very controlled behavior.
So, jetzt darf ich nochmal genau dahin laufen, wo ich gerade eben, beziehungsweise vorhin schon war. Aber komisch, dass da noch nichts lag, als ich vorhin da war.
On it goes. When do you think we'll reach the end of this thing?
Isn't that the cop that caught the guy that was pretending to be dead?
Moment, was? Pretending to be dead?
You ever been in here, Galloway?
No. I have no intention of going in. I heard that thing's tricky. I'm gonna wait here and have a quiet smoke. Think about hidden meetings.
Macht er überhaupt irgendeine Arbeit? Alles muss ich machen.
Once belonging to Celine Axford Henry. Thrones, altars, judgment seats, and prisons. No, it couldn't be.
Seats and prisons, wherein and beside which by wretched men were born scepters, tiaras, swords and chains, and tomes of recent wrong, glozed on by ignorance, were like those monstrous and barbaric shapes, the ghosts of a no more remembered fame, which from their unworn obelisks look forth. Na, wenigstens muss ich nicht zurückgehen.
See? That was easy.
I found Celine Henry's ring.
How far does this thing go? How did we not catch this nut job?
Okay. Police station. Police station. Thrones, altars, judgment, seats and prisons. Okay, Gerichtsgebäude irgendwie. Habe ich da irgendwas? Altar? Da? Hm. Okay, das. Toll. Das da? Nett. Okay.
That's the guy. I hear he's an honest cop. Now there's an oxymoron for you.
Isn't that the cop that caught the guy that was pretending to be dead?
Can you drive to this one?
Hab ich jemals irgendjemanden verhaftet, der so getan hat, als ob er tot wäre?
Why? Vanity. He wants to see if there's anyone out there smart enough to catch him.
He leaves us evidence, but every location is a trap.
He's testing us, physically and mentally, to see whether we are worthy of him.
The Titan guy, who had the stoush with God.
Very good. You thinking about reading some Shelley?
All that egghead stuff? I'm sticking to the funny papers and the form guide. You sleep better at night.
Egg.
There's the throne up there. Now it's just a matter of getting to it.
Whoa. What? Fuck.
Jesus, now look what you did. Hang on, Cole. I'll get you off of there.
Fuck. Was macht denn der?
You've got to make it to the next platform. Get that thing as close as you can, then jump.
There. Huh? Thron. So, jetzt noch ein Ring.
Typewriter ring.
Okay.
Summers.
Im letzten Fall sehr schönes. Also hoffentlich letzter Brief.
Place he calls home. End of the line.
Remit the anguish of that light had stare close those wan lips, let that thorn wounded brow stream not with blood, it mingles with thy tears. Fix those tortured orbs in peace and death, so thy sick throes shake not that crucifix. So those pale fingers play not with thy gore. O horrible, thy name I will not speak. It hath become a curse. I see. The wise, the mild, the lofty, and the just, whom thy slaves hate for being like to thee, some hunted by foul lies from their heart's home, an early chosen, late lamented home. Kirche? Oh! Oh nein!
No! Come on! Ah, no!
I thought the whole thing was gonna
What?
come crashing down on us.
I thought so too.
Ich hab gedacht, ich
He murdered
hätte
Evelyn
verkackt.
Summers, Rusty. The last trophy was her ring.
You find another piece of the poem?
Yes. the last piece.
You sure, Cole?
Let's find out.
You know the way. You can drive.
Wieso stürzt es jetzt zusammen? Wegen Drama, wegen Spannung, weil es ein Spiel ist. Oder vielleicht, weil der Typ, der die Briefe schreibt, das so manipuliert hat, dass das zusammenbricht, wenn ich das Stück Papier aufhebe oder so. Keine Ahnung. Outfits? Was? Outsider Outfit. Don't believe everything you read in the papers. Wo ist mein Hut?
Reminds me of my days as an altar boy.
There's a light coming from the house.
Nothing hasty, gentlemen.
Was ist denn das jetzt?
Keep your hands where I can see them, or I'll be forced to redecorate the stucco with your entrails.
We're from the LAPD, sir. I'm gonna tell you only once to lower your weapon.
The LAPD, you say? Is it really possible you could have found me after all this time? How interesting.
Moment, ist er das?
Gun, shitbird. Last warning.
This boorish ignoramus could never have found me. It was you, wasn't it? Do you remember me, detective?
The temp bartender.
Yes, you found me. You know what I'm capable of,
Huh?
yet you walk in here like lambs dressed for the slaughter.
We'll see about that.
Ich muss aufs Klo. Mach mal kurze Pause. Ganz kurze Pause. Ich bin sofort wieder da. Oh, okay. So.
Where did he go?
Down the tunnel?
Hab ich fast am
Can't
Ende.
let the son of a bitch get away.
Hab ich mich auch
There
gefragt,
must be
ja.
another entrance into the house.
LAPD, give yourself up.
Sweet Jesus.
You realize this must have been the place, Rusty.
Fuck.
We're going down there.
Kill Garrett Mason. Was?
Call for backup and keep an eye out above ground and see where this thing comes out. Don't let me down, Rusty.
Wieso Kill?
You're
An interesting man, Detective. Why the police force? You're obviously overqualified.
Reinforcements are on the way. Cease and desist.
Do I get a sense you're looking for personal redemption? Do you think we have something in common?
Where's the press, Cap? I think Phelps and I should get a medal for this. This has got to be the case of the year, right? The case of the century when you think about it.
Are you finished?
Yes, Skipper.
Good. Because there won't be any press briefings or commendations.
What are you talking about? We got the werewolf, the guy who killed the Dahlia, killed all the other broads.
You got no one. Mason was a ghost.
Can you at least tell us why, Captain?
Mason is the half-brother of one of the most highly elected officials in this country.
How high?
Beyond the moon for mere mortals like us, Rusty. There'll be no more mention of him. The city owes you both, but there'll be no mileage in ever bringing this up again.
What's going to happen to the suspects in the cases, Captain? I won't be a part of that.
A bit of missing evidence at the grand jury. A procedural error here, a mistake there. They'll all be quietly let go. The DA knows how we'll have to play it.
That's it?
I'm afraid it is. And I have some news for you, Phelps. No more rooting around in the entrails of cadavers and corpses for you. The head of Vice has asked the chief for you. I'm reluctant to see you go to the glory boards of Vice, but my hands are tied. Go home to that lovely wife of yours and celebrate your promotion.
Breathe out, kid. You'll go purple. I'm scared, Sarge. Everybody's scared, kid. Anyone who says he isn't is a damn liar. How many times have you been in combat, Sarge? I was with Raider Battalion on Peleliu my first time. Was it bad? It's always bad.
Will this be bad?
As bad as it gets, kid. But you stick by the Marine next to you, and he will stick by you.
So, some of the guys, they aren't very friendly, Sarge.
They've lost a lot of their friends in the last couple of days, kid. They think if they don't get to know you, that they won't have to grieve for you if you get killed. They're wrong. It doesn't work that way. Don't worry. No Marine in this company will let you down.
Phelps, welcome to Vice. This is your new partner, Roy Earl. Take a seat. A special request was made to transfer you to add Vice. We need a man with your kind of starch on this desk, son. We have 2 dead Negroes found in an apartment this morning on Yucca Street. Number 6358, apartment 5.
We got better things to be doing than wasting our time on 2 dead junkies.
Did I ask your opinion, detective? 2 men dead on U.S. Army issue morphine. That makes it an advice case. Beat it.
Yes, sir. You and the lieutenant have some history?
You could say that. We used to be partners. So, you're working with the big boys now, Cole?
I guess so, Roy. I thought homicide was the primo assignment.
That may be the case. I asked for you personally, Phelps. I had to pull a few strings to get you over to Advice. How does it feel?
The lieutenant seems to think I'm doing okay.
Okay? Don't get humble on me, Phelps. You're doing great. You're the department pinup boy. War hero and crime fighter. What a combination.
I can assure you I'm no war hero, detective.
Let's rouse some hopheads.
Well, you know.
Mhm. Okay. Ja, okay. Ja, der Typ ist ein bisschen, weiß nicht. Bisschen speziell. Naja. Aber gut. Ja, ich bin mal gespannt, wohin das jetzt alles führt und so. Wirkt professioneller als der alte. Ja, der alte war ja, war ein bisschen faul, aber halt trotzdem noch halbwegs anständig, sage ich mal. Der Typ hier haben wir vor einer Zeit schon mal mitbekommen, dass der ein bisschen, weiß nicht, korrupt ist, beziehungsweise ist selbst nicht ganz sauber.